Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich here with your outlook for January 12th, 2016. We're going to have a clipper system that's going to be moving through the area today. It's actually moving off to our north. It's associated cold front and Arctic front, we should say, because there's going to be some pretty cold air coming in behind this. Will be attached to it. Here's your Arctic front, and then along that frontal boundary, we're going to have a second round of snow showers today. First one's going to come through for our central and northern areas, actually probably the northern half of our central areas. It's going to come across right across here like this into parts of New Jersey. I don't think you get into that further south. It's with that first band here, but our central and northern areas running it into northern New Jersey will come through in the early afternoon hours. Now we're going to have a second round come through with the actual Arctic front itself, and I think that's where just about everywhere else gets into that action with some snow showers or perhaps even a heavy burst of snow with a snow squall. So the areas that would not benefit from that would probably be down here from Philadelphia and points south and east. I think you're really going to get, other than a few flakes, I don't really see you getting much of accumulation down there. We, of course, have our weather alert maps out, so on the weather alert page, we do have the map showing what we're expecting for each area here. This is going to move through the area here. Through the afternoon. The Arctic front comes through actually early this evening. We're going to go to the NAM high-res future simulator radar and show you what we're looking at here. Now we're starting this off at 10 o'clock in the morning here, but we will have some our initial snow starting out here about, we'll say after 11 o'clock in our western zones here. But then what we're going to watch for is an area of snow that's going to develop ahead of this Arctic frontal boundary, which at this point at 1 o'clock in the afternoon is way out here in western Pennsylvania. It looks like a squall line that you would get the thunderstorm only in the summer, which of course in this case would be snow. But you're going to have this energy out ahead of it here that's going to bring some snow across northeastern PA. Should get down to about the Lehigh Valley here. I don't think it gets down into Reading over to maybe Bucks County and places like that. I don't think we get too far south with this, but from the Lehigh Valley and points north over into northern New Jersey, or at least northwestern New Jersey, I think we're going to get in some snowfall that's going to come in here. And here you can see that with these darker blues showing up here. See, that's right here over the Lehigh Valley is right here over into Warren County, maybe Hunterdon County. Then it gets up into the northern half of New Jersey as well. Of course, northeastern PA would also be all snow from this initial wave. Again, that's the early to mid-afternoon we're talking about for that. Here is the Arctic frontal boundary itself, and this is going to have looks like a squall line of thunderstorms coming through here. Some of this will break up as it hits the mountains, but there are going to be some pretty renegade snow showers coming through here and snow squalls. You get caught under one of these, it's going to be pretty blinding. I mean, you're going to have snowfall rates that are probably about 2 inches an hour at times with that very low visibility, so it can creep up here pretty quickly. Pretty much snows almost as hard as it can for about 15-20 minutes during that squall time frame, which usually lasts 30 to 45 minutes in total. Might be a little bit less than that, but you get under one of these bands here and you can really get some whiteout conditions. So just be careful if you're driving this evening. You do get caught on one of those. This would be in the evening hours with the Arctic front, and then as that moves further east, this starts to fall apart and move away. So there's really not too much here going on after. Once we get past the evening hours here, should start to die down here with the activity. So we're going to move forward here. This clipper is going to move up into the Canadian Maritimes. Now it's getting off the picture here, but one of the things you want this to do as it moves out here, you want this thing to rapidly deepen if you want snow behind it. We're looking at the storm now. There's a couple storm threats we mentioned. There was going to be 4 over the next 10-12 days, and that's still true. The first one is going to be Friday night into Saturday, and that does have wintry potential with it as well. I know the models were kind of backing away from it a little bit, but the trends have been starting to bring this back a little bit into a more colder and wintry solution. One of the things the models like to do is erode the cold air too quickly, and it might be the case this time, but we'll have to wait and see how the models trend over the next 24 hours before we can make the determination. But one of the keys of that is this area of low pressure moving off to the northeast. This is the clipper system. If that does bomb as it heads up into the Canadian Maritimes, and we have a chance to set up some blocking, and if we do that, it becomes a 50-50 low, and this next low coming in from the plains, which will move to our west, would be forced to redevelop sooner to a coastal system and at a lower latitude. So that's what you want if you want a significant snowstorm here on Saturday. But right now there's a lot of uncertainty with that, so we're carrying rain and snow in many forecasts given the uncertainty. But the key is going to be that first system. One system sets up the other. If we get a strong block in place, this very low pressure that's heading into our west and cutting right now is showing a warmer solution because this remains strong for a time before it changes and transfers to a coastal system. If it does that, we end up with rain, and then New England gets a pretty good snowstorm out of it instead. So we're just waiting to see how this all works out in the models here. But right now, a lot of uncertainty with this. We're just following trends. We should know in 24 hours from now what this is going to do one way or the other, and start to see the models start converging on some signals here. If this one doesn't work, this one here also needs to bomb for the one behind it. Right now, I'm not seeing anything on the model guidance with regard, except for a few ensemble members showing this system right here on this particular model as a weak wave that's going to aimlessly head out in this direction. But if the system that comes here on Friday night and Saturday, if that bombs in the Canadian Maritimes, then you'll be setting up a block for this one too, which will allow it to come up the coast and give you a pretty powerful storm here for at least interior sections of our coverage area here. So that would be the Martin Luther King Day threat, Sunday night and Monday. Right now we're going to keep that uncertainty off the table just because there's a lot of things not showing it. But we do have some ensemble members who are really keying in on that threat here for Martin Luther King Day instead. So again, there's a lot of different threats, a lot of different pieces, a lot of different chances. We're going to follow those over the coming days here and hopefully narrow down a forecast starting first with a Friday night, Saturday system, and we'll go from there. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich, and that is your outlook for January 12th, 2016. Have a great Tuesday.